This is Ben Davison, subscribe to Sporting Icons.
Right, so Deas, who is the trainer and one of the managers of Deontay Wilder, has said that the whole Joshua versus Wilder situation left him feeling pretty frustrated. He thought that the fight was on as soon as they offered the 50 million. And he's thankful that Wilder is in fact going to be fighting Tyson Fury next. And because if that hadn't, he didn't quite know where 2018 was going to go for Wilder, as in top quality opponents, because Wilder is looking for a career defining fight. And anyway, this is what Deas said to the World Boxing News. I don't know who Deontay should have fought had Fury not accepted. I prefer to deal in reality and not in hypotheticals. I'm thrilled Fury has taken the fight and shown the UK that they have a guy who truly wants to be the best by facing the best. The Joshua fight collapse was frustrating. We offered $50 million, a sum never before guaranteed a heavyweight fighter in the history of boxing. I was sure it would happen. Again, this is after Joshua asked publicly for that amount. He stated he would take the fight. He didn't. After that, I knew it was all going to be posturing and garbage. Hopefully we can put it together one day, but there is business of fighting Tyson Fury first, the guy who does in fact want the fight. We will see if the Joshua fight happens eventually, and I do hope that it does. So that is Deas' statement to the World Boxing News, and I'll put that article in the description for you all. So, as I said before, the 50 million was coming from Frank Warren. Frank Warren openly said this, so unless of course there was somebody else willing to put up the 50 million, nobody has yet to come out and say, yeah, actually I was going to do that, or a combination of a few people. But Frank Warren said that the money was in fact coming from him to fight on BT Sport. Joshua can't fight on BT Sport, and I'm getting a little bored of saying about it, but just for those who may have never seen my videos before and don't know about this, then Frank Warren, BT Sport, nothing to do with Joshua. Joshua cannot fight on BT Sport unless there was a mandatory situation and Joshua lost the purse bid, in which case the winner of the purse bid then owns all the rights to all the fight, therefore he can put the fight on to BT Sport or any platform that they choose. Joshua versus Wilder is a voluntary, which means a voluntary, he must fight on Sky Sports for the UK. For the rest of the world, Wilder and his team could have broadcast at any other network in the world, in any country. It wouldn't matter, but in the UK it had to be Sky Sports. So unless there was another alternative to this 50 million, as in somebody other than Frank Warren was offering the 50 million, then you know what? That fight was never going to happen. Now, I understand the frustration, of course, because Wilder does want a career-defining fight, and I've said it on many occasions, and this is why I've been pressuring him from my little 2 pence worth of just saying, listen, you need to step it up. You've been giving the fans promises after promises, but these fights never materialise. There always seems to be a reason why these fights can't happen, albeit that maybe his manager in Shirley Finkel said that he's not ready for a Vladimir Klitschko fight. That was like the catalyst from then on in. So, of course, when he's fighting people like Chris Arreola, Arthur Spilker, Gerald Washington, and people like that, people are just looking, even Americans, and I've seen plenty of American channels out there saying, what the hell are you doing? Who are you fighting? I mean, he even tried to fight Andre Wawrzyk, which is ridiculous. But you know what, and the Povetkin one as well. You know, he was in camp, he was over here in the UK in Sheffield, and he was getting ready to board a plane to go to Russia in the final couple of weeks before the fight. Alexander Povetkin, he tested positive for whatever the hell it was, but it was a previous substance that was, a substance that was previously okay to use. Now, for me, I don't agree with any of it. Personally, I don't think anything should have been in the system, but the test results did show that he was within the legal limit, which meant the fight should have went ahead. Wilder jumped on a plane, went back. Listen, I think that maybe he acted out of emotion in that moment, and of course since then Povetkin's team have countersued and won, so that fight should have actually went ahead. But it's not even about that. It's about the fact that we want to know, how good is Wilder? How good is he? Okay, he had a contract from Team Joshua on his desk that he agreed to all the terms for, but just didn't know the date and venue. So he should have just signed, because now he's going to be fighting Tyson Fury, what, November, December time, when he could have been fighting Joshua in the last week of October or the first week of November. That's all it was. It was just a 2-week period. And the venue would have been 100% Cardiff, Wales, the Principality Stadium. So it's not too far apart. Now, again, if we go back to the 50 million, when the deal that they offered Joshua was, it's either going to be in November or December in New York or Vegas. So again, you don't get much vaguer than that. And they're asking him to sign, which is crazy. And also sign for the fact that he's going to be on BT Sport, which he couldn't do. So Joshua needed to know all the details. They didn't give him all the details. And Deas knows that, of course, and he's not going to come out and say, yeah, you know what, it was actually Team Wilder, it was Shirley Finkel or whoever that messed his deal up. They could have got his deal done. So, of course, he has to take the side of Wilder, no doubt, because Deas is a real straight shooting guy. He really is, and I like him. I really do like him. And I like Wilder as a person for what he'd done to get into boxing, to help support his daughter from spina bifida, to help give her the best medical treatment now in the world is fantastic. And recently he's inviting 2 couples from Northern Ireland to go watch him fight Tyson Fury, because these guys have similar problems within their personal life with their children. So he's paying for them to fly them out to watch him fight Tyson Fury, even though these guys are Tyson Fury fans. So he's got a real good heart. It's just the record and the excuses that I don't like. And the fact that he would accuse others of not doing something when he hasn't done it himself. This seems to be my issue. But anyway, hopefully this fight does happen. The Fury fight, of course, we're still waiting for a date and venue. And apparently this was 99% done 5 weeks ago. And we're still waiting. So what the hold-up is, who knows? Who really knows? But anyway, that is the statement of Deontay Wilder's trainer and co-manager as well in Deas. So yeah, I think that Deas, I mean, you know what, he talks a lot of sense. Whenever he talks, I always listen. I think that Deas is a very, very good trainer. I mean, he's managed to get Wilder to where he is based on the fact that Wilder has very little skill. He has skill, but as of an elite level, not at all. But he works and fixes what Wilder is good at and concentrates on that. So yeah, he's a fantastic trainer, no doubt about it. But anyway, you drop your thoughts below about it all, click that thumbs up and subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.